Yeah. So in the last session, we have seen LLM process, how it works, and what are the frameworks available, right? So so today we'll see some frameworks, Langchain, Langgraph, and how they work, and how do you use them to generate agentic applications. Okay, so all the things we'll see from today. Okay, so for developing LLM application or agentic AI or agents, so there are two popular frameworks, Langchain and Langgraph. Okay, so we are going to see that. So Langchain is so basically, if you see in the last session, we have two workflows, right? So one is sequential, another one is graph. Okay, graph or node based or graph based. Okay, so see if there are any the two frameworks for these two type of workflows is Langchain and Langgraph. We'll see one by one. So Langchain, so basically it's a open source orchestration tool. So this is to develop LLM applications. So basically, treat Langchain is a framework to develop LLM applications. It's available in Python and JavaScript. Okay, so as of now, it's available in Python and JavaScript. So these Langchain where we use normally is chatbots, virtual assistants, any text-based things, document, question and answer thing. Okay, so RAG based applications, so workflow automations, this kind of thing. Okay, so these are the some of the use cases. So any text based conversation kind of thing, normally we will go for this Langchain library. Okay, so it's a kind of bridge between multiple modules. Okay, so how we are passing the data between LLMs and external tools, all the stuff. Okay, that is a core usage. Okay, that is what Langchain does. Okay, so if you see, so there are many components in Langchain. I'm highlighting here major components which we are going to use. Okay, so I'll explain these things in high level. So for detailed Langchain, you need to spend some time to learn them. Okay, so that's Langchain. Langchain is having providers. If you see, so we have a lot of LLM models, right? We have OpenAI like ChatGPT model, we have Gemini model, we have a Claude model, okay, so Hugging Face model. Like this, we have so many models available nowadays. Okay, so if you want to connect with a model, we need to have some connectivity. If you remember, so when you are connecting with the database, we need to have a drivers, right? So we need to specify. So we have a more advanced technologies. Earlier, so 10 years, 15 years back, we used to specify drivers. Okay, if you want to connect with the database, we need to specify the specific driver for which you are trying to connect. Let's say if it is a Postgres, we need to specify Postgres driver. Okay, MySQL, you need to specify MySQL driver, like that. So here also, if you are trying to connect to a specific model, you need to specify that. So Langchain provide those kind of model providers. Okay, so that's what is basically so it gives a simple input, and if you pass that input to the model, it gets the output. Okay, so when you're talking about providers, right, provider specific to a model, and that model is specific to company or organization. So when you are using that, you need to have a separate package for that. So Langchain will give a specific package for that. So like how we are installing, if you are trying to use a fast API, you're trying to install a fast API related libraries, right? So when you are trying to use pandas, you're installing the pandas package, like that. So Langchain is providing all the models, model packages. Whenever you're using a specific model, you need to install the corresponding model package. Okay, the format is so Langchain hyphen provider. Let's say if it is a OpenAI model, Langchain hyphen OpenAI, like that we need to install a package. Okay, so that anyway I'll show in the demo so that it will be easy for you. And it also provides the chat models. Okay, one is a model, okay, different types of model to connect with the models, and another one is so chat models. So these things, so this specific to Langchain. Okay, so this specific to Langchain. Chat models are so these are language models. So it's a sequential input, like conversational kind of thing. You give the input and you'll get the output. It's a kind of conversation. Okay, so this will take a list of messages, so like rules. Okay, so I'll show the demo so that it will be easy for you to understand. But for now, you treat that this is another. We have a chart models. Okay, so how to use that I'll show in the demo. And so Langchain is also provides document loaders. Okay, so document loaders basically if you work in any file reading things, so yeah, we can open a file. So normally plain text you can directly open, but if it is a PDF file, we need to have a separate method to read that. Okay, if it is a CSV file, there is a separate method to read that. Okay, so like that, so this Langchain is also providing document loaders. So each so it's having a different loaders for each type of file. Like PDF, it's have a different thing, text to have different kind of thing. Okay, so the advantage of this one is it makes a standard format, okay, for all the documents to apply a process. So because internally it will follow some process. Okay, so and so this process so this document loaders will help to splitting the document, getting the embeddings from the document. So all the RAG based applications, so what are the RAG based steps involved, right? Those things these document loaders will help. Okay, so some of the examples are if you want to load a web page, cloud providers, social platform. Okay, messaging social platforms like Twitter. Okay, so messaging platforms like WhatsApp, Telegraph, all those kind of stuff. So Langchain is providing you the tools to load the data. Okay, and the next one is embedding models. Yeah, Langchain is also provides embedding models. Basically, from the documents we loaded, okay, in the previous component document loaders, so it will try to for extracting embeddings. Okay, we have a models for that. So basically it's yeah, those technical terms I used here, dense vector representations. So this basically you can treat those as a numerical values. Okay, so basically that dense vector representation basically extracts semantic meaning. Okay, the semantic meaning is like this. I think once I already used that example. Anyway, I'm giving one more time. So if you take a word king, yeah, king is a word, simple word. But if you use such things, if you are trying to search for a king, so you only get a king word. But semantic meaning means, so king, it's also a part of male. Generally king means male, right? And he is a ruler. Okay, maybe emperor. Okay, leader. These are the semantic meanings for a king. And like a queen, so also like a leader, a ruler, and only difference is female, right? Female, woman, these are the semantic meanings. So these kind of things it will extract. Okay, so that is what semantic meaning. So here the example for that one is Langchain is a framework. If you see numerical values 0.13 minus 0.45, so this is a simple example. It may not get exact values, but the example says that. Okay, any questions here? Are you guys following? Okay. And Langchain is also have a vector stores. So basically, so for storing your semantic meanings, right? So these things you can store in a vector database using vector stores. Okay, so these things will be used to search the information basing on a similarity search. Okay, so there are different types of similarity searches like cosine similarity, Euclidean distance. These are the popular similarity search methods. Okay, so these vector stores used for retrieving that thing. Okay, so basically storing your embeddings, you can treat that like that. Okay, retrievers. So this basically we load the documentation documents. Okay, so we extracted the embeddings, we store the embeddings, and the next one is retrieving the content. So how do you retrieve the content from the whether it is a vector store or some other thing? So retrievers are used for retrieving that information. So retriever is an interface that returns documents given in an unstructured query. So like yeah, you have a vector database, you can give some in any form. So you just randomly type the question and you'll get the answer. That's why it's unstructured query. Okay, so these retrievers can be created from a vector store. See, this is the order. So retrievers, we have a non-vector retrievers also. Those like if you want to get the information from Wikipedia search or Google search or maybe other search engine results, we can use these retrievers. And finally, tools. Okay, so tool is basically function agent can call from a specific LLM application which cannot done by LLM model. That we already seen. So one of the example is MCP server. Okay, MCP server we have tools, right? So tools basically when tools will be called, if LLM is not sure about the query, then it will go for a tools. Okay, so this basically extend the LLM capabilities. So search engine tools like Google, DuckDuck search, and any external tools. So these are some of the high level. If you see this one, all are related to RAG based applications. RAG is basically load the document, extract the embeddings, and store the vector, retrieve the vector, this kind of thing. Okay, so and this Langchain is also having two more important components. So I have given separate this thing for these two. Let's see. So one is messages. So message basically we are trying to send a message, right? Prompt basically call it as message. But in this Langchain based this thing, say message consists of three things. Because when you are developing LLM applications, we need to consider this format. So a message will have a role, content, and additional metadata, additional information that could be metadata. Okay, see, role, content, and additional metadata. So obviously additional metadata may not be mandatory, but so this will help. Okay, let's see what are role and content. See, in the role there are multiple roles. So so one role is a system used to tell the chat model how to behave and provide additional information. See, if you see some of the examples or examples or article, if you see in the prompt normally say you are a Python expert. Okay, initially we are saying that you are a Python expert. So because we are setting the behavior of the model, that is basically system role. Okay, so you are text assistant. Okay, that is one kind of system role we are specifying. So we are setting the base benchmark saying that you are going to behave like this. Okay, so that is basically system. User, basically user input, any prompt from the user that will be sent to the model to interact. Okay, it's kind of input, this kind of another role. And another one is assistant is another role. Okay, also this is basically a response from the model. Okay, next one is tool. So this we use this we use when you are developing agentic AI applications. Okay, a message used to pass the results of a tool to the model, and after external processing received. The thing is that, so basically tool we are sent, it's kind of MCP server tool. We are getting the information from the tool, and that information we are passing to the model. So in that scenario we'll use this role. Okay, tool. Any doubts here regarding roles? You're following? Okay, so so now let's go to the content. So content, so system message, because we have system user role, right? So like that system message, something like it should be passed to direct the conversation. See, so we are setting the context, we are directing the conversation. When you say you are a Python expert, we are setting the conversation thing. So it is going to be Python based context. Okay, that is what system message used to. And human message, it's basically input. So the content is coming from the human. Okay, that is a human message. AI message, obviously from the model, the response. If you see the comparison, role and content mapping is almost similar, one to one. Okay, multimodality. So basically, if you have a multiple models, the content is like, it's a kind of a tool how we are integrating. Okay, this is a content in the message. Okay, and finally is some metadata. Obviously, you know, right, some information related to the agentic AI application, or something like ID, name, token usage, or any model specific data. These may not be these things, but here for example I kept these things. But any metadata is fine, which is useful for that application. Okay, agentic application. Okay, any questions here? Okay, so now let's go to the another component, that is prompt templates. We have seen a different prompt types, right? So how to use those prompts? Okay, Langchain is providing those prompt templates. We can use those prompt templates to communicate with the model or agentic AI applications. Basically, these templates translate user input and parameters. Okay, so sometimes parameters, input and parameters into instructions to the model. Okay, so when you are programming or you're generating applications, right, it's not directly input from the user. We need to take the data from somewhere else. Okay, maybe from the history, from the memory. Okay, so in that scenario we'll use these prompts. So these prompts will guide a model response, helping it to understand the context and generate relevant language based output, because we are giving a prompt. Okay, that prompt, so LLMs, so we are agentic application may not directly send to the LLM model. So in between they will try to so make a model, like make a prompt in the expected format and send to the model. So basically prompt templates takes a dictionary as input, because so that's not a hard coded string, right? So we need to format it. That's why prompt templates normally take a dictionary as input, and each key is a variable we need to replace with the some value. Okay, that's what template. So this prompt template basically gives a prompt value. Okay, after formatting, it's kind of a formatting in our programming terminology. Okay, so let's say hello Chandra. Okay, so Chandra is a variable, right? In that place you can have any other name. So prompt will have a variable, and it will give after replacing the values, it will give the final output that we call as a prompt value. This prompt value will send to the LLM models or chat model, any other LLM. Okay, any questions here? So prompt template is basically we are trying to use prompts available and passing to the LLM model by formatting the input text. That's it. So these prompt templates also different types of templates available. Let's see. One is a string prompt template. This is only in Langchain. If you are using a different framework, you may have a different templates. Okay, these are specific to Langchain. So string prompt template, it's just used to format a single string. Okay, this is used for simple inputs. Okay, and chat prompt template is to format list of messages. Let's say if you have a conversations, right? So you can have this thing. So you can take the history and pass it to the LLM model. And messages placeholder. So here, if you have a list of messages in the in each list, you may have a different variable, right? So we need to replace that value. So those kind of thing you will use a message placeholders. And human message, yeah, you know, so that's a message from a human to the model. So that human message, maybe you need to format like in a different schema format, all the stuff. We can use this human message. And a message is from a response from a model. Okay, so any questions here? Let's see the demo. So basically I have created an application. Okay, so using I have some ideas that I created. Let me show the demo, and you ask the questions. Based on the demo, I will give the responses. Okay, that way you can, because we discuss the topics and I am showing the demo, then you ask me the questions. Are you able to see my screen? Okay, see, this is I just created smart KYC student onboarding. The idea is, so normally when you are going to the college first time, like engineering colleges or any, after your admission allocated, okay, so what they will do, they'll try to take your all mark list documents, right, basically, and they will enter it manually. So my idea is, instead of doing manually, we just use a application, okay, to just there's a manual process, right? So it may take time. Let's say how much 10th class total he got, or what is the MCET rank. Okay, these are already have a document. Again they are going to enter manually, so manual will take time. Let's say after ranks are allocated, and if they go to the college, all will come to the college at the same time, right? Let's say there are 200 people at a time came to the college, so manual process take time. Okay, so for each person maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes they will take, and so to complete 200 people, it may take a whole day, sometimes next day also, but people are coming from remote places. Okay, so if you use this kind of thing, you can within 5 minutes you can complete onboarding process. That is what this application idea. For that I have taken simple scenario. There you show the 10th class document, SSC document, they take a picture and get the details from that, all the information from that picture. Okay, that is the idea. For that I used Langchain and in the back end. So this is a front end React app. Basically it is hitting the API, the back end is fast API. At there I am making a call to Gemini model, getting the information. Let's see. So let's take SSC document, 10th class document. I am uploading. This is a public information. Basically I have Googled and I got the public thing. This person I got the, that's why I am sharing here. See, this is a document, 10th class document. So if you see here, it is having a name, father name, mother name, roll number, which school she belongs to, and medium, 10th, all the subject wise marks, total marks, grade, and identification marks. These are the things I concentrated, and even in college also they are going to write this one manually only. Okay, that's way I use this model to extract this one. I just submit this one. Let's say I submit this one, processing it. It is yeah. You see here, see this SSC marks list name you can compare. This is for visualization purpose. I kept like this. You no need to keep like this, but yeah, this looks better. That's way. See name, I got it. Father name, mother name, roll number, identification marks, date of birth, year of passing. So marks wise this thing. Okay, so like this, instead of manually typing, if you type manually, it take lot of time, right? So again we need to store the document if it is missing, all the stuff. So but here, so normally when student comes, people will take this information, name, father name, mother name, date of birth, school, all this stuff. So for typing, at least it will take 10 minutes for those guys. And the people are in a queue, in a hurry, they may make mistakes. So using this tool, you can extract the information easily and get it in simple. You can reduce the time, lot of time. This is a kind of automation. Any questions here? Okay, so let me take another document, intermediate. Let's our +2 document. So let's see that one also. So we have a diploma or anything. So here is a 10th intermediate document. Let's see this one as well. Let's see. This also I got from internet. So that's why it's a publicly available. That's why I'm taking it. Right? See here. See, if you see, the format is different. Earlier format is SSC marks format is different. Here is intermediate format is different, right? So it's having a year 1, year 2. So in year 1 marks, year 2 marks, in year 2 have a practicals. See, everything is very clear, right? So name of the student, father name, roll number, mother name. See, okay. So any questions here? Yeah, so this one that is in our control, right? We have data. Yeah, the intention is to edit only, but here the demo purpose I did not keep, because see, yeah, it is a software. It may make mistakes, right? So let's say that's why visualization purpose I kept side by side. If something this for matching is easy, right? So let's say March 2015. If it's not correct, then they can edit it. Okay, so because so here our main goal is whether we extracted the information is accurate or not. Okay, so that we got, once we got it, we can do whatever we want. The format we can change, or content you can change. Here I just displayed it. If you want to edit, maybe you can make it as a text box and modify it. That's not a big thing, right? Okay, this basically yeah, any questions here? Otherwise I'll go to the code and I'll show you that. Sorry. Oh, marks memo format. Okay, so that's the question here, the format, right? So there comes how you are giving the prompt. Okay, so that's why I have taken 2 examples and specifying the format of the document. Format of the document is very important. Extracting a text is fine, we can extract the text, but so where is the text? So what is the location, how to get the corresponding so let's say here the year 1 and year 2, say English is a common in year 1 and year 2, but how to get the year 2 information? That is basically format. Okay, there comes all these discussions what we did, the prompt, okay, prompting, formatting. giving examples, few shots, multi-shot, right? These things, these will come into picture. So let's take a code now. Okay, before going to code, do you have any questions? Okay, so this basically I have given this is a React application, front end React application. It's a very simple one, and back end I'm having APIs. For each one we have APIs. Intermediate I have separate API, SSC I have separate API, admin form separate API. Okay, 3 APIs. It is a requesting. So obviously REST API I used fast API. In the back end it is giving the JSON response, and once you got the JSON response, you can show it whatever you want, right? So I am basically here I am just displaying a JSON response in this format. JSON format, how you got that JSON format? Okay, that JSON format I got from the model. Well, let's see. In the back end, so basically model is I used Gemini Flash a model that is good for extracting the text from document or image. Okay, so it's a free but OpenAI is not free. I think I have shown you in the last class. APIs are not free for OpenAI. Okay, that's Gemini is giving free, that's why I used the Gemini model. Okay, yeah, it is a free, but so if you are using a free account, these documents, of course Google used for their model training purpose, but if it is sensitive information, so free tier you should not use free tier, because so it's a public. If you are using a free tier, it's a public data. Okay, so then you can go for paid version. So paid version, I'll discuss that. So what is the advantage or the disadvantage, how paid version works. Okay, that's where comes agentic AI application development. Okay, so basically tokenization. I'll talk about that later. Let's see the code first. Okay, so this is the if you see have a front end and back end. Front end is basically simple React app to fire API to the back end. Here is having a back end API. So in back end I have a main this one is having three those APIs. Let me show you that. This is there are three APIs. One is a parse admin form, parse 10th diploma. This is for intermediate, and SSC demo memo for 10th class. Okay, these APIs taking a document, any document it's taking and sending to the. I'll show you for one API. So this is same for all others. Okay, you may ask if it is the same for all three, why can't you use a one API? It's basically extracting a text, right? So why can't you use a one API for all the documents? But here the thing is that all the documents, yeah, we are extracting the text from the document, but the format is different. So the format is different means we need to pass format type, how we are going to expecting the response. Okay, so that is what we are going to do here. See here, yeah, this is a method. Assume this is a Python method. So in the Python method I am specifying the description. I accept an image of SSC marks memo, send to Gemini, return a structured JSON. Okay, this is the description of this method, and here is the prompt. In the prompt I am specifying here, this is the text. How we are going to this prompt is clear. It makes a difference. These things we discussed. Okay, prompting. So here I am giving a instruction saying that you are a text extraction assistant. You are OCR plus data text extraction, maybe text or data, it's anything is fine. Extract the following structured information. Okay, if given document is secondary school certificate image. See, I'm saying this is important. This is important, and these are the high level information I am asking from the document, and I am also giving a format. This example I am passing. See, this is a few short prompt. Basically, example. I'm giving one example. Okay, few short example prompt. Example based. I'm giving one example. This decides LLM. Okay, I need to extract the information. Maybe the key focused information should be these things, and format the message in this format. It's a JSON format, and return the value. Okay, this prompt is important. Any questions here? Hmm. Right. Oh, okay. So here maybe instead of saying this as a document, documents are different. Okay. So documents is a books, right? It's having a, okay. It's not a format. It's a content. Whereas these are not. These documents are single page documents. It's having a structure, right? Maybe invoices kind of thing, right? So these things, these documents may not have a multiple hundreds of pages, right? So document is one document. So ssc mark list is one format and one document. Okay, this is this thing. Whereas if you see books, okay, if you, so that is where context come into picture. PDFs, books, they're having hundreds of pages. If you have a hundreds of pages, their structure is not important. Context is important. Semantic meaning is important. Am I correct? You are getting my point? Mm-hmm. If you upload the document, what do you mean by document other than SSC mark list? Other than SSC mark list, it tries to extract this information. If it is not available, empty it will give. I think somewhere I added that also. So and add empty value if not found. Mm-hmm. Okay. Right, right. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, so the thing is that, yeah, let's take another state 10th mark list. Okay, but the format is same. So even though maybe subjects and total may differ, right? Yeah, so apart from that, so everything is same. Father name, mother name, roll number, student name, date of birth, all these things are common. Okay, so only subject will differ. So so that's what is here. We have given an example. It doesn't mean that we need to take exact things. So here it will look for format, subjects, name, these things it will take, not a first language Telugu, second language English. Okay, if it is available it will take, otherwise it will understand the meaning and it will try to form that model format. Okay, so basically this is the context we are giving. So if you take any document, let's say I did not try. Let's take this one. So we are talking about 10th class mark list, right? Let's submit intermediate mark list to this API. What it is going to return? Okay, let's see. That's what your question basically, right? Yeah. So now, let's take a 10th class. Let's update intermediate document to 10th class diploma. This thing. Now, what will happen? See, marks are empty because English, Sanskrit. See, intermediate is English because the format I have given to this one. See here I have given format is subjects. Okay, so it found subject from the given document, English, Sanskrit, mathematics 1, mathematics 2 subject it found from the document, but it did not find the marks. Okay, so here school did not find, identification marks did not find, but roll number, mother, father, date of birth, these things it found from the given documents. This is what we expect, right? Yeah, so we got a total as well, right? So that completely depends upon how you are prompting. So this is the important one. See, developing agentic APIs is not about frameworks, all the stuff. How you understand the problem, how we are going to solve that problem. Okay, any questions here? So this is the prompt. This prompt, see, I kept in a variable. This prompt I am sending to the model. How I am going to send to the model is, here I used Gemini model. So this is basically reading content. I have a content here. So this, let's go to this model here. What is this model? This model. So I'm just using Gemini model. For that Gemini, so I'm using so we need to install Gemini package. Okay, like how we did OpenAI, like that Gemini package we need to install from Gemini. So this is the method to import Gen AI, like extracting the text. That from that Gen AI, basically we need to specify the API key, right? That API key is available in .env file. Okay, so here anything you can use that, and after that I'm using, see, to use any model we need to because each company is having multiple models. Okay, so GPT-4, GPT-5, all the kind of models for OpenAI, and Gemini is also a lot of models. Which model you are going to use, that we need to specify here. I am specifying Gemini 2.0 Flash is the model, and API key I am specifying here. So now I got a model. So for this model you can pass a prompt. Okay, so that is what I am doing here. Model generate content from the use this prompt, and the content is this one. Okay, reading from content. This I got the response. That response is basically JSON. In that response I am taking a text. Okay, this is the text. Okay, these are all simple generic manipulations. Only thing is that this is what we need to consider. You're sending. So using this, if you don't want Gemini, if you want to OpenAI a paid version, if you have, you just change the model type here. Okay, so here like Gemini type, we have a OpenAI, we have a separate syntax, we need to use that. Any questions here? Yeah, you can use multiple models. We already discussed that, right? So we can use multiple models. If you see the where somewhere types of, or where is that? Sorry, somewhere workflows. If you remember. In the workflows we have multiple models, right? In workflows we have multiple models. So step 1, step 2, then LLM, step 3, then LLM, then step 4, like that. So if you have a multiple models, that is a flow you need to. So let's say if you are using for extracting text, you can use the Gemini model, and after getting the text you format it and send that result to another model to get in some more information. Okay, maybe that model could be rank based replication, maybe that's specific to your company. Okay, maybe that is going to be if you want to develop a program for that, maybe you can use Copilot or Amazon Q, this kind of things. Okay, that's completely how we are designing your system. Okay, any questions here? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, that is where comes actually. Yeah, initially I did like that. Okay, the thing is that how this basically model works is basically, see how LLM models basically how they are getting the money. So basically basing on tokens, they charge you basing on a token, input token and output tokens. Okay, so the tokens, if you pass multiple tokens as input, the tokens for 1 million tokens they are charging, I think $1, $1 or thousand, $100 for 1 million, something like that is there. Okay, so I think I have calculated cost estimation also. I did, yeah, somewhere I did. 1 million, this thing cost is um, 1 million, for 1 million it's at 100 dollars something is there. Okay, so if you pass this is the input prompt. Okay, so from these prompts it will find out input tokens. Okay, so if you use the same API, even though you use the same API, but the format is different. If it is SSC, format is different. If it is intermediate, format is different. Correct? That format we need to specify in this prompt. If the format, if the given document is SSC, give me this format. If the given document is intermediate, give me this format. Like this, you need to give the prompt. Okay? In that case, number of tokens will be increased. Right? So if the number of tokens are increased, and there is a chance for increasing the price. So that's where, so you should that's where comes how we are going to design our system. There comes the all these things. So basically input tokens is a less price, and output tokens, because it is coming from the model, output tokens is more charge. I think so 2.5 dollars is for 1 million for output tokens, and input token is $1 for 1 million. Okay, so that is a scenario. So like that, so if we pass use the same API, so because we need to pass more prompt, right? So otherwise we'll get mix up the format, because both the documents format is different. We need a format, that is important in these things. Yeah, it's not, it's everything overall, it's a documentation, right? So extracting the text from the document, whether it's a 10th class, intermediate or invoice or anything else. So basically it's a rank card, allotment card, all these things. In college you have all these documents, all are having extracting the data from that, but all these documents only difference is format. So that is the key point for us. Okay, so that's where, so you can so the token count, basically it is also gives in the response, it is also gives a token count, what, how much is the input count and how much is the output count. I think I displayed those things here, let me see. Yeah, here. So this is the input count, this is the output count, and this is the total count. Input token count, see here, input total count is more, 2280, because the prompt is big. Okay, so if you increase the prompt, obviously charge will be more, and basing on that output prompt also may differ, we don't know. So that's why the format is here, the key is formatting. That's why you should keep a separate prompt for each document. Okay, so accept that thing, so everything is same model, send the uh, a document, extract the information and get the token count and pass it. Yeah, I think let me run that cost estimation thing. I have created a cost estimation. Let me run this. So it's a 1 million because there is a cost for 1 million. Yeah, here this is the thing. This graph also I created, but let's close this. See here. Input tokens, output tokens, total tokens. This is a charge. If you process 100 images, the cost of that thing is 17 rupees, almost 17 rupees. Okay, so average tokens. Let's say if it's a 10,000 documents. Okay, it's approximately 1700. It will be charged. Okay, so these are the things we need to consider while you are developing agentic AI. Okay, average input tokens 900 and output token 700. I kept like this, but yeah, it's all depends depending upon the document. Okay, this is for Gemini model. Maybe because actually in our organization earlier we used OpenAI model, but those are costly, very expensive. Then we moved to Gemini model recently. 2 months back we moved to Gemini, and we are using the same model, Gemini 2.5 Flash. Okay, so if it is a sensitive information, you always go for paid for any LLMs. Okay, if it is a sensitive information, go for paid. If it is a public information, use a free tier. Yeah. What do you mean by own model? Okay, can you give an example? Yeah, so like that only. Llama, Gemini is Llama. What is the difference? Both are free models only. Yeah, we can use anything. But the thing is that, see here, instead of Gemini, okay, you can replace this not here, sorry. So here we are saying model, we are creating a model, right? This model is basically Gemini model. Okay, instead of this one, you can use Llama model. This model is from Google. Okay, but Langchain. Locally, you're saying? That is also fine. Yeah, that's also fine. Yeah, there are Claude is giving that, Llama is giving that. Yeah, but the thing is that how accurate is this? For our demo purpose, this thing is fine. But if you are going for a corporate, these things will not help. With the accuracy of these models are not that good. Those are for demo purpose, practice purpose. Okay, so when you're going for commercial, you're going for corporate thing, so just local or these things may not help. Either you need to fine tune those models to align with our requirements, or use those models paid versions. Yeah, it's all our requirement. It's not like that we no need to use Llama or yeah, we can fine tune those models. Yeah, so the one of the fine tuning is RAG only. RAG is one kind of fine tuning. No, we can, but the training, right? It takes so normally these things, until unless, see, whenever you're going for train, right, you need a lot of data. Okay, that data could be biased. We don't know. We should get the proper data. Getting that proper data is not easy task. Okay, Yeah, so the it's not best, so one a better way. Okay, you may, yeah, yeah, it's not the best thing, it's a better, you'll get some more accuracy. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, if not, maybe I'll stop here for today.